Let's talk about cults. The People's Temple was formed in Indianapolis, Indiana during the mid-1950s, practicing what it called apostolic socialism. They did not believe in integration, so the good people in Indiana in the 1950s said, "Outta here." They moved to California, opening churches in the San Fernando Valley and in San Francisco. The People's Temple became increasingly political once ensconced in the Bay Area. After their work helped Mayor George Moscone get elected, the Temple's leader, one Jim Jones, was made chairman of the San Francisco Housing Authority Commission. Jones enjoyed public support and contact with some of the highest-level politicians in the United States. For example, he met with Vice President Walter Mondale, First Lady Rosalind Carter, and Governor Jerry Brown several times. But the People's Temple didn't quite smell right, and when the San Francisco Examiner began a series of investigative articles, accompanied by the high-profile defection of some high-level members, the People's Temple once again picked up stakes and moved, this time to French Guiana. The theory being Jones liked the loosey-goosey extradition laws with the United States, and he himself saw the weak political leadership there and thought it would allow him a swift and effortless rise to power and control. In a sign of Jones' growing megalomania, he named the People's Temple's commune Jonestown. The original idea was for Jonestown to become a socialist utopia. The members of the commune worked tirelessly to build and maintain Jonestown. Jones adopted the North Korean system of 8 hours a day of daily work, followed by 8 hours a day of study. This also comported with the temple's practice of gradually subjecting its followers to sophisticated mind control and behavior modification techniques, borrowed from North Korea and Maoist China. Jones grew predictably paranoid and began screening films like Day of the Jackal and The Parallax View, growing livid when the audience did not derive the same message that he did. Some members thought this wasn't too cool and considered escaping. Bad move. Many were caught and forcibly administered drugs such as thorazine, sodium pentothal, and chloral hydrate. Armed guards patrolled the area day and night to enforce Jonestown's rules. The commune contained no dedicated prison, but various forms of punishment were used against members considered to have serious disciplinary problems. Methods included imprisonment in a 6-foot plywood box and forcing children to spend the night at the bottom of a well, sometimes upside down. This became known as the torture hole. In September 1977, former temple members battled in court to produce an order for the return of their 5-year-old son. Fear of being held in contempt of the order caused Jim Jones, whose mental state was deteriorating rapidly. It caused him to fake a sniper attack upon himself, and thus began his series of, quote, white nights, or what he called our 6-day siege. He faked a siege of the compound, basically telling the members that the commune was under attack, even though they really weren't. Back in America, parents of the commune members petitioned their congressman to investigate Jonestown. Along this time, Jim Jones got a jeweler's license. So, well, one thing you can do with a jeweler's license is buy cyanide to clean gold. On November 14th, Congressman Leo Ryan flew to Guyana with a delegation of reporters. After a tense visit, several members of Jonestown wished to defect and asked to be processed back for a return to the United States. As the Ryan delegation set about returning, they were ambushed at the airstrip by soldiers from the People's Temple commune. Jones convinced his remaining followers that they were under attack and urged them to commit revolutionary suicide. A total of 909 people died, all but 2 from cyanide poisoning. Jones took the Hitler route and blew his brains out. The Jonestown Massacre vaulted public awareness and paranoia about religious cults into the stratosphere here into the United States. One of the mechanisms employed to fight cults and their nefarious methods was the Cult Awareness Network. The Cult Awareness Network, or CAN, was an organization created by a deprogrammer named Ted Patrick that provided information on groups that it considered to be cults, as well as support and referrals to deprogrammers to the family members of people suspected of being caught in them. One of the first directors of the Cult Awareness Network was Patricia Ryan, the daughter of Congressman Leo Ryan. The Cult Awareness Network worked diligently to identify and expose religious cults it classified as destructive. those that employed mind control techniques and exerted an undue personal and or financial burden upon its members. One organization that did not appreciate the Cult Awareness Network was the Church of Scientology, who characterized it as a hate group. In 1990, a woman posing as a volunteer was later revealed to have been sent by the Church of Scientology as a deep undercover agent within the Cult Awareness Network. Now, the Cult Awareness Network had left itself open. Deprogrammers might have good intentions, but their methods of pulling people out of cults often involve kidnapping and unlawful detention, which, whether you're crazy or not, violates your civil rights. In 1991, over 50 Scientologists from across the United States filed civil suits against the Cult Awareness Network, many of whom used the same claims word for word and all worked through the same law office. In addition, Scientologists filed dozens of discrimination complaints. The Cult Awareness Network, which ran a budget of about $300,000 a year, was unable to cope with this amount of legislation. The Cult Awareness Network, which ran on a budget of about $300,000 a year, was unable to cope with this amount of litigation. Eventually, the Cult Awareness Network filed for bankruptcy. To add to the confusion, the Church of Scientology then opened the new Cult Awareness Network. So now, if you have concerns about a family member you think might have joined a cult, or a loved one you feel may have fallen into the clutches of a disreputable religious organization, you can call the new Cult Awareness Network and speak directly to a Scientologist. All, I may add, perfectly legally. Now, how is it that we got on this subject anyway? Oh yeah, snakes. Funny.